Dr. Nancy Williams, it's a pleasure to be here at First Fruit Natural Healing Home with you. Thank you so much for inviting us to come in.
Thank you for coming out and having me on your program. I'm looking forward to it.
And we've had an opportunity to tour the home, and it is such a wonderful and peaceful place. Tell us about what inspired you to create this space, and who were you creating it for?
Well, actually, First Fruit Natural Healing Home came about out of my own healing that needed to take place. Just really wanting to create a space for people to come into and be able to feel have peace of mind and serenity, and learn how to heal from the inside out. And so that's why First Fruit was created.
So when you talk about healing from the inside out, let's kind of explore that, because a lot of times when you use the word healing, a lot of people instantly go to, but I'm not sick. And so let's look at what you mean by healing, because I think my idea is no matter where we are in life, there is always some healing to be done in our lives.
There's always healing. And as a holistic doctor, what that means is we're multi-dimensional beings. And so to be healed, it needs to be on not just a physical level, but it's spiritually, it's mentally, it's emotionally. And all those components have to be in balance for us to actually live a life of fulfillment, of joy and peace and happiness, because all of our emotions and mental and spiritual body are connected to the physical. So when a person may be experiencing, let's say, low back pain, that has to do with support, or arthritis has to do with criticism of maybe self or others. And some people might say, well, I don't criticize myself or others, but when you don't believe who you are, and you feel like you're not good enough or you're not capable, those are criticisms of self. Then there's people who might have digestive problems. Those are problems of feeling stuck, not releasing, not letting go. So they're all interrelated. And so it's important to heal all of that. When a person comes into First Fruit Natural Healing Home as one of my clients, I will see what it is that they're experiencing in their physical body, but I don't just address that, because it's about the lifestyle changes. It's about mindset changes that have to take place in order for you to get to the root of any problem. And so that must be addressed.
And I think of healing as a journey, because we are always changing and growing and coming in contact with different stimuli and different toxins. So there's always this cleansing that needs to be done. I'm a lot different than I was 10 years ago, yes, or even 2 weeks ago.
Yes. And as we get older, it requires more. And like you said, it's a journey. It never stops. It's like as you're elevated to the next levels of your life, it's like going back to kindergarten. So you kind of start back over and go through the process. And it is a process. And what I have to teach people is to really be patient with themselves. We're in this society that everything is so fast-paced and making sure we're moving and creating and doing all the time. But it's a process to this, and being patient with yourself actually helps along the journey. It makes it easier.
Now, how important is detoxing? And that was one of the things I really wanted to talk about, because I was diagnosed as being chemically sensitive some years ago. So it's amazing when you start to read the literature on how many toxins that we come in contact with, every day, in the water we drink, the food we eat, the air we breathe. And then if you think about healing not only relating to the body, but also the mind and spirit, what toxins are we bringing into our system?
Well, detoxing is really important, because most diseases are from toxicity, malnutrition, and stress on the body. When you eliminate those type things in the body, normally you can overcome a lot of the diseases that are out there. So when a person detoxes, it's not you just don't want to detox your colon, which most people do, but you want to detox the colon. You want to clean out all the organs. You want to purify the blood. You want to clean the parasites out. And the colon, the kidneys, and the liver, you know, those are our filter systems. So you really want to make sure that they're clean consistently. And because of the air that we breathe every day, the foods that we eat that have toxicity in there, and just a lot of other things that are happening and that we're being bombarded with, it's important to do thorough detoxes every single year and consistent. And then during the year, you want to actually do something like detox teas or detox foot baths or ear conings just to stay consistent with that. Also, we want to detox out our mental and emotional bodies. You know, a lot of times we carry baggage from one relationship or one journey of our life into another aspect. Well, you really need to sit back and clean those areas out, because that brings another component to sickness in the body if it's not healed.
So when we think about detoxing, is that something that you would say is kind of like at the base level of healing? Is like getting rid of it? And how does First Fruit Natural Healing Home work to help people get to that clean place?
It is one of the basic fundamental areas. Like I was saying earlier, diseases, toxicity, malnutrition, and stress. So a person can come in with 10 different symptoms, and by the time that I detox their body out, 8 of those symptoms are gone just from clearing the toxins out of the body. Because as you get older, as the toxins continue to build, they create more symptoms. And as you start to detox the body, you can create what's called a healing crisis. And with that healing crisis, you can experience some of the same symptoms that you experience getting to the place that you are right now. When a person comes to see me, that is one of the first things that I go over is detoxing the body. I go over nutrition, because nutrition is important. We are what we eat. So if you're feeding the body dead things all the time, you're not providing life to the body, then you won't get life and replenish the body with the nutrients that they need. Another thing that's important to detoxing is when the body is toxic, there's a mucus that builds over the cell walls. And when that mucus builds up, it's impossible for nutrients to get in the way that they're supposed to. And so it creates that the malnutrition that I was talking about earlier. So the body's toxic, building all these toxins, and then there's nutrients that aren't getting in. That just creates havoc on the body. So that's one of the foundations to any program that's really started here with any of my clients is detoxing and nutrition.
So how do you avoid toxins? That's impossible, isn't it?
I think in the society that we live in, it is hard to avoid them totally, but there are many things that we can do. People say it's too expensive to eat healthy, but when you're going to pay for it in some place or another, either in the long run or now. And what I like to teach is that do a little bit of preventive now, so you can look at the foods that you're eating, the things that are in your environment, like the detergents or the household cleaners that you're using, and then you can get air purifiers in your house. So there's many different things, and it's just learning.
You know, it's so amazing because what you say just resonates as truth. But we live in a society where it seems like what you're saying may be appealing to the minority, because I don't know, why do you think a lot of people don't get it?
For me and the clients that I see, I believe it's education.
Okay.
Once people have been educated, the clients that I have, once they come into knowing a little bit more, they do better. When we do a little bit, our children are watching us, and so when we do a little bit, then they do better. And so educating ourselves continuously, consciously, will help make those changes.
So tell me a little bit about the services that you offer at First Fruit.
One of the main services that I offer to my clients when they first come in is a total body wellness assessment. And during that assessment, I'm looking at to see if their pH is in balance, whether their body's in an acidic or alkaline state, because the body has to be in balance in order for it to facilitate the healing that it naturally does. The body can heal itself. And so I check the pH to make sure that it's not acidic. I check to make sure sugar levels and there's no protein in the urine, and I do what's called iridology as well. Iridology is actually a way to look into the eyes and tell whether there's degeneration happening in the organs, whether there's excessive stress, cholesterol, congestion, inflammation, those type of things. So it's a very non-invasive way to see what's happening internally. And it also lets me know, as I put you on your program, the healing that's taking place and being facilitated at that time. I also go over nutrition, detox program. They get their herbal supplementation in the program, because I've put together packages, because it makes no sense for you to actually do these assessments and then the person can't afford to get the products that's needed, the herbal remedies that I use that's needed to actually make the changes. We also do detox foot baths here, ear conings, colonics, nutritional classes and boot camps. I teach a class called Know Thyself Inner Journey, and it's about self-discovery. It's about tools that you can apply every single day in your life that facilitate change. And it's not hard. It's easy. It's incorporated into your daily life in the things that you're already doing. And so I teach that. We do vision board workshops. And vision board is just a tool that you use to have something displayed in your, whether it's in your office or your home environment, where you can subconsciously see these things, because that is the subconscious is where all of these things that we operate daily on is happening from. And you have to change the subconscious in order to change what's happening every day in your lifestyle now.
Now, one of the things that you talked about, and I think is something that I see happening a lot of times, people will come and detox and they'll do all that, and then they'll go back to the same old habits. How do you inspire, or how do you work with somebody to get them on that road to wellness, to get them on that road to health? How do you kind of help them stay on that road?
That's true. I believe it's staying in the company of people who have that mindset of helping you facilitate the change. Because if you come and you start a program, but you stay in the same circles that people are always talking negative, toxic minds, toxic thoughts, toxic foods, all of that, then you tend to go back to that. So it's important to stay around like-minded people. It's important to, once you find a place to be, to stay connected. That's why I teach the classes that I do. A person will come back and do follow-up sessions from time to time, and it's affordable, you know. So that's what's really, really important to me here at the center. The center was created to help people to make that lifestyle change, mindset change, and stay connected with people who are already doing it. And that's why everything has been set up.
So if somebody wants to know more information about First Fruit Natural Healing Home, how can they find more information?
They can go to the website, which is firstfruitnaturalhealinghome.com, or they can call us at 770-484-4745.
Well, Dr. Williams, I'd like to thank you so much for inviting us in and sharing valuable information in terms of helping us to get on that road to health and to stay on that road to health.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.